last guy.
Yeah.
We're ready.
All right, let's call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
The first house that he lived in was.
Genslinger,
And then we got some
Here's a-
pictures of that.
Larson,
They had a
Here.
homestead in-
Osterloo,
down there by,
Penny,
so.
Schmitz.
We lost him.
I still hear him tapping away in there.
Can you hear us, John?
Phone company.
Um, yeah, I'm having a little trouble, but go ahead.
It was a long
Okay.
distance.
I was
Are you here?
just say here.
In,
I am here, yes.
Or Sonny,
met over
Here.
Dosher.
So of course, I gave him the business.
We have a quorum.
Phone sex.
Thank you. The agenda has been provided in the packet of information. Is there anyone that has a potential conflict of interest on items on that agenda?
I have a conflict with number 8.
Thank you. Anything else? If not, let's go on to the agenda. It too has been provided. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, we're ready for motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded, the agenda be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. For those of you who may be watching us on the screen, because we have one of our members that is going to be with us via telephone, all votes will be roll call votes. So Mark, with that information, it's your turn.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Schmitz,
Yes,
Sonny,
Yes.
Larson.
Yes?
Motion carried.
The next item is the minutes were provided in the packet of information provided to the committee members. Any additions or corrections to those minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the minutes be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none. Mark, your turn.
Sonny,
Yes.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Schmitz,
yes,
Larson.
Yes?
Motion carried.
Next meeting schedule should be October 10th. Do I hear a motion for the blanket?
Second.
Moved and seconded the blanket for the next meeting be set for October 10th. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume we're ready to vote. All in favor?
Nope. Roll
Mark,
call.
your turn.
Osterloo, Schmitz,
yes,
Sonny,
Yes.
Larson.
Yes?
Motion carried.
All right. First item on the agenda is a variance permit. Dalton Warren and Mandy Stevens have applied for a variance permit for a side yard setback of 3 feet versus 0 feet versus 3 feet, and a side corner yard setback of 9 feet versus 9 feet 4 inches versus 20 feet to construct a 38-foot by 30-foot garage located at 321 East 9th Avenue, legally described as Lot 1, Block 16 of D.A. Scott's First Edition, City of Mitchell, Davis County, South Dakota. The said real property is zoned R2 Single Family Residential District. And I see we have a couple of comments that came to us. Several of them were okay, but we do have one that disapproves because there was no real diagram of what he wants to do.
Yeah. With our notices, we don't send out diagrams for anything. It's just the meeting date. Packets are published online for people to see them there, or they can come down to the city hall and see that. Applicant would like to build a garage. Accessing from the south can be a little bit tricky because there's a not telephone, but a power pole there. They'd still be required some variances even if they access from the south. Langston Street is a non-improved right-of-way, probably not going to be improved either. So they'd like to access it off of Langston Street instead of out of that alley there. They'd have 3 returned in favor, one that wasn't in the packet that you have in front of you that was just requesting more information but did say disapprove of it. Applicants are here if you have any questions for them at all, or I can answer any that you may have.
Applicants, do you have any more to add to what has been presented to us?
No, sir.
Nope, thank you. All right. Gentlemen, any questions?
Just to have the applicant realize that there'll be a firewall on that side with zero setback. No windows, no doors.
That'll come with the
The building.
permit.
Yep.
If approved.
Yep, if approved. Do I hear a motion?
Well, I'm not in favor of 0-foot setback. I mean, you got a pretty good sized garage there. I'm not concerned about the other way, but I just do not, I'm not in favor of the 0 foot.
So,
Does the city know of any utilities in that alley?
I don't believe there are any utilities back there, but I can't be 100% certain with that.
Well, you got a fence on the north side there. It's gonna be like a tunnel,
Fence on the south side.
or south side. So.
Yep, for pits.
what's your pleasure, folks? Remember, it's best to move to approve, and if you don't, if we vote it down, we'll send that information to the council.
And you could move to approve one but not the other. It can be as two separate variances that they're requesting.
Oh, for the.
Yep,
the
Side yard.
Yep.
side yard.
The other little buildings to be removed?
yep.
Well, I mean, if he got away from the 0-foot setback, he wouldn't have to worry about the firewall. Is that correct?
Right, if he's 3 feet away, there's no requirement. I mean, the little shed that's there now appears to probably be 0, and, you know, years ago, they allowed those, and we do not, no longer allow that.
Well, whatever happened to building within the space that he can do it too, you know, I mean, he's got a pretty good size. Is there a reason why it's such a big size one?
Well, he's on a 50-foot lot, and if he wants to have stuff inside, I lived on a 50-foot lot, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, but you do it with a 0-foot setback though? No,
Yeah.
there's always a setback.
With your setbacks, can I talk?
Going up to the microphone.
He's still under the unattached garage square footage, he's under the 2,000, but.
Right.
Just do it.
It says there, he's on the 0-foot.
So-
I'm not in favor of the 0-foot.
My objection is, so I do your 3 foot on our property line, right? For the neighbors, so that brings me in 3 foot. Then I have to go 20 foot from the opposite property line, correct? I might as well not put a garage up. My pickup is 22 foot.
I'm not against the one on the Langdon Street one, you know, that's, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm not, I just don't like 0-foot setbacks, you know, that's.
So the Langdon side is 9.4 versus 20 right now?
Yes.
So if he moved it all that way, he would be 6'4"?
You can't.
I wouldn't be able to park my pickup outside my garage.
Well, even 9 foot, you won't be able to do anything.
Right. Well, as you see the little grass area, I would assume that's just gonna stay there. So I'll have all that room. So I'll have another probably 6,
Well,
Yeah,
it can't
8,
be-
6,
can't
8
be
feet.
over the sidewalk.
There isn't a sidewalk there, sir.
Still sidewalk right away there that you can't go over.
Okay,
Yeah, the
well, then I can't park
hang
there
out-
anyway.
You can't hang out in the right of way, yeah.
But can I also draw to your attention where my parking lot is right now?
Yep. See the issue?
That is where we currently park. And I have 5 girls in our house. We don't have enough room to even get them there, so there's a lot of street parking. And then we don't have much there either, so,
The tribulations of living on a 50-foot lot.
yes, sir.
On a corner too.
Yep.
Yep, and on a corner. What's your pleasure, folks?
Well, it doesn't seem to have too much traffic either, I suppose, you know. It's
Right.
still,
With the school being there, there's a little bit of traffic, but,
Yeah, but they're not down the line. Do they go down the LA a lot?
yeah,
Oh, they do?
Yeah,
Hey, they're kids. They come screaming around that corner there, but
yep.
it's kids, whatever.
I'm waiting for motion.
Well, if we don't make a motion,
I can. I would move that we approve. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Jay, can you clarify the motion for me, please?
I'm going to move to approve what he's asked for.
I'm sorry, say again?
I move to approve for what he's asking.
Okay. And there was discussion about maybe moving toward the Langdon Street side?
Yep,
You wouldn't be able to, at this time, just shift the garage 3 feet to the east. It would have to be renoticed for something like that. I mean, if you wanted to try and go that way, but at this meeting, you wouldn't be able to just say, move it that way.
So do we have to move, do we have to take action specifically on the variance that has been,
yes.
okay?
So,
We can't, we can't, volunteer an alternative to the variance that has been requested, correct?
no, you're right.
Okay?
It can be less,
Okay.
not more.
Yep.
All right. You've heard the motion. We have a second. Further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Mark, your turn.
Osterloo. Schmitz.
No.
Sonny.
No.
Larson.
No.
Motion failed. This is a recommendation. It goes to council for their final decision on it. It'll be heard next Monday night.
Okay, next item, rezone NJM Properties
Jay,
LLC land.
there's no point in even going through this. We don't have a quorum for it.
Okay.
This will have to get tabled to
This
our
will have
next
to be
meeting.
tabled.
I will
Postpone.
say, if you are here for the meeting with questions on that, I'm the engineer of record. I've got business cards here, and I plan on reaching out to you, or you can reach out to me with any questions.
Yeah, that's basically, I'm a neighbor. And
Okay.
I was just, I had some. Go to the podium, because.
We live in the area and we just, our main questions are like, what are they trying to do? You know, so.
Right.
And then I talked to Candy, who is at 2440, that address, or 2400.
Yep, I'm aware of it.
Okay, and she had some questions also, but we'll just get a hold of you and hopefully we can get all the questions answered.
Right.
And I guess I'll go back to finishing concrete. All right, thanks, fellas.
Thank you for your
So
attention.
when you do this, you have to have, because you
So-
don't have a quorum?
Right.
Mark, did you get a name on these gentlemen?
Merle Beshin, and you are,
Tom Flint, Thomas Flint. I'm right next door at 2440. So,
Yep.
okay, well, awesome. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's go on to number 9. Variance permit, Candace George, Lincoln Eigebauer, on behalf of Candace George, has applied for a variance permit for a rear yard setback of 19 feet versus 25 feet, and a side corner yard setback of 8 versus 15 feet to build an attached garage located at 1203 North Sanborn Boulevard, legally described as Lot 12, Block 26, Capital Addition, City of Mitchell, South Dakota. The said real property is zoned R4 High Density Residential District. Looks to me like this is another 50-foot lot deal, isn't it, Mark?
yeah, it is. There were 4 responses returned, all in favor of it. They're proposing to attach the garage to their house. They do meet the setback on the west side. They're requesting the variance for the east side and then also the north side. If they were doing a detached garage, they'd have to be at 16 feet instead of the 19 feet that they're requesting. They probably still need, and then the garage wouldn't be able to be as deep either for that. There is no parking in the front of their house, right here. Once they redid Sanborn, that's all yellowed off, and they can't park on Sanborn either. They're just wanting to put a garage up so they can bring vehicles in. And access would still be off of the alley, not off of Sanborn. Drive around the pole that's right there. Applicants are here if you have any questions for them at all.
Applicants, would you like to talk to us?
Yeah, like Mark said there, this is the only place we can get into the house through that alleyway. And Candy's stepfather, he's 80 years old, so he has to park almost a block and a half away to even get there. And with hail this year, we got hailed on the cars, and then this is a duplex, so we have 3 cars that would be there. My pickup is gone on this photo here, I was at the farm, but it would be good for our vehicles to be in a shed so we would stay out of the elements and not get them hailed on, and we were asking for like a 34 wide, that would get, it's not a big garage for 3 vehicles, but we could make it work. And like Mark said, in the front, since they did the Sanborn, they yellowed that all off. We used to be able to park there, but now you can't go anywhere till Mrs. Hilton, and usually her kids are home on the weekends, and that whole road is about taken up there with her kids, so. Other than that, that's about all I got.
All right, thank you. Questions of the gentleman?
So, yeah, why is that guy walking a block and a half, what did he say?
No place to park.
If our vehicles fill the driveway, where does he park? You know?
Well, I would think you'd let him park there, and you walk a block and a half.
Yeah.
He shows up a lot of times on
Not expected.
I see. No, I'm just kidding.
But they did mark all that yellow in front of the house on the south, both sides of the road.
Yeah, and then with everybody else that lives on that block, you know, they have at least one vehicle out, so.
And that is a narrow street, so in the wintertime, if somebody parks there and a snowplow goes, you're supposed to have the vehicles off that street. Because it is very narrow when there's parking on each side.
So what you saying the hardship is on this one is that the parking is on that.
Yeah, that's, the only way to get to our house is to the north of it.
I think we had a similar request for a variance, basically the same thing on Sanborn Boulevard within a couple blocks of this location that we passed about a year and a half ago.
Yep, I think you're right. Do I hear a motion or any more questions?
I'll move to approve.
Do I hear a second?
I'll say.
Moved and seconded that the variance request be approved. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume we're ready to vote. Mark, your turn.
Actually, Mr. Schmitz has joined us here, so we can go to, if you would like roll call, I
I
can
would
still
like
do
roll
roll call. Okay. Osterloo,
Yes.
Schmitz,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
motion carried.
Okay. Next item, conditional use permit. Jeffrey and Mary Lanning have applied for a conditional use permit to operate a home occupation yoga studio located at 46 South Harmon Drive, legally described as Lot 5, Block 4, Indian Head, second addition to the City of Mitchell, Davidson County, South Dakota. Said real property is zoned RL Lake Residential. Talk to us, Mark.
Sent out to the neighbors. There was one response that didn't make the packet. They didn't have any comment. They were in favor of it. Applicant would just like to be able to teach a yoga class there once or twice a week with up to about 6 people there. Just doesn't quite meet the standards for a home occupation without having to come in front of the board for a conditional use. I believe the applicant's here if you have any questions for them at all.
Applicant, would you like to talk to us?
I'm
Please
Jeff
introduce
Lanning.
yourself.
Pardon me?
Please introduce.
Jeff Lanning.
Thank you.
My wife and I are the applicants. She is a certified yoga instructor, and she's just looking for the opportunity to do classes there once in a while. That's really it.
Parking is always a question,
We've got a large driveway, so plenty of parking.
and you probably won't have more than 1 or 2 people at a time,
Maybe 6 at the most, not really sure.
okay? Any other questions or comments for this gentleman?
Is this daily?
No. Be just varied, probably no more than twice a week at the very most. Maybe even only once or twice a month,
And the sessions last?
hour.
But that all can change too.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything else? Assuming no other questions, we are ready for a motion.
So you say you can hold all those parking spots in your driveway?
Yes.
Is that what you can do?
You get a garage out back too, unattached garage, you know that?
Yeah.
All that driveway back is theirs as well.
We are ready for a motion.
So
Hearing no
moved.
further discussion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the request be approved. Discussion on the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Number 11, a plat of Track A and Track B, Big Dog subdivision as requested by Big Dog Concrete LLC. What's going on there, Mark?
Applicant had a parcel, it does have a building on it. It's 2 different owners that purchased the land and the building from him, so they are splitting it between the 2 sets of garage doors. It's in zone TWC, so it does meet all restrictions for setbacks and width for the parcels themselves. It's a 0-foot setback in TWC, so having that shared wall is in compliance with the ordinance. Applicants here, if you have any questions for him, or I can answer any as well. I will note there's ingress and egress from each one, whether they cross over and they'll use each other's. We don't have any control of that portion, but there is ingress and egress to each parcel.
Is there in fact a wall?
What's that? Is there a wall between?
Yes. Does that need to be rated in any way?
If it's 2 separate owners, it should be, yeah.
And is it?
I don't know. I don't know, what property is it? Oh, no, I don't believe, if one owner had it, I doubt it would have been at that time. Unless it's a concrete wall, then it would be.
We need more information?
Is it something that we got control of, for that? Because all we are is dividing it, but it's gotta be.
If it remains the same occupancy type on both sides, then the fire rating would be less. If it was an occupancy type that would dictate a more restrictive fire rating, then that would come into play.
So, example then, South Sandburg Storage just had a fire. What's the requirement for storage in those particular?
That's all one owner, he rents them all.
Yep.
You can go up to 12,000 square feet without
But
separation.
do the walls that separate the units have to be rated?
No. So that's all one owner.
But now this is gonna be 2 owners, but.
We're only looking at the plat, guys.
That's what I'm saying. We're limited to what we can control, what we can't,
I'm good with that.
And I guess maybe the owners need to be aware.
But Justin's not here to.
No, you're exactly right. You're looking at the plat itself, and owners should be made known that
I guess it's up to him with the fire.
Building inspector will look at it.
Yeah. I'll make
Fire
a motion
people.
to approve it.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this plat. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Item 13, excuse me. Item 12, approve a master plan, Maui Farms Incorporated, second edition.
Yes, so we have Maui Farm Second Edition out there right now. It's a PUD currently for Sam Street. They're looking to basically just copy and mirror it, do another 20 lots to the north of it. So with this master plan, you see that there's the 10 on the north side, or east side, 10 on the west side. There'll be a developer's agreement that comes with this at a later date. The road as well. They have to abide by the city drainage requirements for it all. SPN, Jeff from SPN's here if you have any questions for him on that side of things. I can answer any questions that you may have as well.
The old ones that got built in that, was there any variances on those?
I don't believe that there's been any variances that have been approved for in that area.
So basically, the lot sizes and everything were okay, that we don't have to go back and get any variances?
I know that there were probably some owners that wish they would have been able to get a bigger shed on their property, but I don't recall any variances being approved for width on that at all.
Well,
And-
everything is getting bigger.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments?
If this does get approved for not only the master plan, but also the plat itself, you'll see this come in front of you again for, the city will annex it into city limits, or they'll petition to annex it into city limits. That way the city will be in charge of the snow on the road. They'll also apply to rezone it and make it part of Maui Farm Second Edition PUD. So there'll be some more action that continues with this if it does get approved. So,
Questions, comments? That abuts the railroad tracks, doesn't it?
yep.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that this plat be approved as presented. Excuse me, master plan be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. Let's go roll call on this one too, please, Mark.
Osterloo.
Yes.
Schmitz.
Yes.
Sonny.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes?
Motion carried.
Okay, next item. A plat of blocks 1 and 2 of Maui Farm Second Edition, a portion of Sam Street as requested by Maui Farms Incorporated.
So this goes along with the master plan. It is out in the county, but it's in the ETJ, so it's still city zoning jurisdiction. But it's them just getting it ready for moving forward with the process.
And basically, it's the same thing that you've done with that other section, right, guys?
Yep.
And it didn't take long to sell them all either, did it?
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the plat be approved as presented. Discussion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 14, a plat of lot 22, block 7 of Westwood First Edition, a portion of West 15th Avenue, as required, as requested by CJM Consulting. Okay, what's going on this guy?
So you'll have a TIF come in front of you at the next meeting. And there were some portions of unplatted road or unplatted lands in that area, actually where lot 22 is. And so they were platting that just that way we had a better legal than just how we had it described in the original portion of it. So platting that for that, there's no development for that location at this time, but they're also platting then the rest of West 15th Avenue. So the TIF is going to come in front of you will be for West 15th Avenue to get put in. So that's why they're plating the road right now, so that way we have boundaries of that, what that'll be. So there's your GIS view of the area right now itself. I can answer any questions that you have for the plat. It does meet all the stipulations of the ordinance for what they're platting.
Okay. Discussion, questions? Developer, got anything to tell us?
Chuck Majeski, the developer, and I think almost everybody in town liked 15th Street going through from floor to ceiling.
Drainage guys?
Since they're not doing anything for that land right now, it'll be at the, when they come for a building permit for on lot 12, that they will be required to have an elevation certificate, drainage for that location.
Okay. This is kind of a mess out there right now, so.
It is, but this is helping to clean up for the TIF portion of that. Because right now, how we have it described for the TIF boundaries, it's the east side of North Olman Street and abutting the north side of lot 22. And so this, we at least have, or excuse me, 21, we have lot 22, so you know exactly where that is.
Okay. Further questions? Hearing none, we're ready for a motion.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the plat for lot 22 of block 7 of West First and a portion of West 15th Avenue as requested. Discussion on the motion.
Just a quick question, the yellow line mark that intersects?
Yeah, when they did existing block 1 lot, or lot 1 block 7, it's drawn wrong on GIS. That's all that is. I tried to write it with doing this portion. When I was drawing it out here, I was like, this doesn't make sense at all. So we'll have to talk with Harry at District 3 to get that changed.
So that in no way affects lot 1, block 7?
No.
Okay.
It's just drawn wrong on GIS.
A good guess. That's not quite right.
Yep.
Discussion on the motion. We have a motion, is that correct? And a second.
That's correct.
We've had no further discussion, so we're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Is there any other business to come before this body at this time? Hearing none, it is time for public input. If you need to address the board on an item that was not on the agenda, excluding personnel items, please come forward to the podium and state your name and your concern. Presentations are limited to 3 minutes. Items will be considered, but no action will be taken at this time. Seeing as no one is coming to the podium, we are adjourned.